Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first featured match of the Season 3 SideQuest Invitational. Well. With me, I'm Tails.
And I'm
with
Aaramus.
me is Aaramus.
You may know me from twitch.tv/Aaramus.
And the shameless
plug
plugging
to
begins.
start initially.
So professional.
Ever so professional. If you watch my streams, you know how good my production quality is.
It's really
It's
cool.
top tier.
Right. Yes, so this is a new thing that we're doing for this season, which is every week we're going to be focusing on at least one match and doing some proper, in air quotes, commentary with either myself, Aaramus, or 3 other casters that we potentially have. You will see them at a later date. Right, this first match is between Ogres and Goblins. What a way to start the league, I feel like. Couldn't really ask for a funner.
More importantly, it's the Season 2 champion, ×2, both the league and the cup, against for some very strange reason, decided to play his own, a stunty team without needing to play a stunty team, but...
Yes, for those of you joining us, we have a rule that if you win the league, in the next season you must play a stunty team. So Rocket, our Goblin coach, is being forced to play a stunty team. Jbazza, on the other hand, is just daft and chose to play a stunty team of his own volition.
Which we're not quite sure why, but hey ho.
He must be a masochist of some sort.
He must be. That explains quite a lot, actually, thinking about it. But let's not get into that right now.
Yeah, let's leave his personal life out of this.
Yes.
Yes. So
should we talk about the team?
Yes, just quickly before we get on that, the league is 12 teams. It's a round robin league to start with, and then there'll be a second stage after the round robin, which is a knockout. So this is the first match of the first week. Check over on our Twitter for announcements for the other games. They'll all be streamed on here at some point, so just keep an eye out. But yes, Aaramus, would you like to lead us on the teams for today?
So the first team, as mentioned, are the Ogre teams by Jbazza. As you can see on the screen in front of you, this is the team list. On the top is the name, and down this nice lovely bit down here is the team sheet itself. So standard ogre setup with the five ogres and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 noblars or snotlings, or what do we call them? Noblins.
Noblins,
as we like to call them.
Preferred name for them.
Basically, the ogre team basically only has two players, the ogres and the noblars. The ogres are bog standard ogres with the fact that they don't actually have they don't have loner. Unlike on the human team, there's no loner skill. And the noblars are unfortunately the weakest player in the entire game at strength 1, which basically means if you're familiar with the game and you need to block, normally you're looking for a 2-die block. With a Noblar, you're always going to get a 3-die block on a strength 3 player. They are very, very weak, and they are very, very prone to dying thanks to Stunty and Armor 5.
Yeah, basically, if they get hit, they tend to die horribly.
They do. The typical ogre tactic is to try and smash as much as you can with your ogres thanks to their strength 5 and mighty blow, and then hope your noblars don't die while they run rings around the opponent thanks to Stunty and Twitchy.
Yeah, they do have the extra survivability of dodge, the noblars. So unless you have a tackle player, there's only a 1 in 6 chance of actually knocking them down with a single dice.
It's quite hard to knock them down, actually.
Yeah,
but
however,
you are getting a lot of dice on them.
Yes, a strength 3 player blocking them does get 3 dice, which is significantly increases your chances.
It does,
knocking them down. However, they do have sidestep, which really helps.
It does indeed.
Which means that they can sort of dodge away from your tackle zones when they're blocked. So chaining them is quite difficult.
I do believe that thanks to Twitchy, they get a plus. I think they get a +1 to their dodge.
Yeah, I believe.
No, they get a +1. They get a +1 to the dodge rolls, but they don't exert the -1 modifier when somebody's dodging into their tackle zones. I believe. Yes. Actually reading the rules now, which is probably what we should have done beforehand. But hey.
Yeah, I'm looking at the right stuff. Yeah, so they basically always dodge on a 2, because of Stunty and Twitchy.
Stunty and Twitchy.
Yeah,
it's actually regardless of the tackle zones.
Yeah, so basically, no matter wherever they move, if they move through a tackle zone, it's a 2+ dodge with a reroll because they have dodge. So they are highly maneuverable, but they still suffer for picking up in tackle zones and stuff. So they're nasty little buggers to catch. But when you do hit them, it's 90% chance or something that they'll die horribly.
They are they're very, very slow as well. They're a movement 5, which is the same movement as an orc lineman, so very, very slow. So they don't really have the speed to make up for it either. The only real benefit that they have is that basically nobody's going to be grabbing onto them while they go through tackle zones. You tend to use your Noblars as your ball carrier thanks to agility 3 compared to the ogres agility 2. And really, you kind of want to just protect them with the ogres and try and find sneaky little gaps through, force the gap with the ogres, which they're very, very good at, and then basically just overwhelm them with sheer force of numbers with the Noblars. And as you can see, Jbazza has 2 extra Noblars on the bench, giving them 30.
Which is very much needed.
Which is very much
surprise
needed.
Me.
They're only 20k as well, so they're going to be very quickly replaced. They're not an expensive player. Obviously, when you then compare them to the ogres, who are like 140, so that's what, seven times more expensive? Yeah, 7 times more expensive. It is.
Mathematics.
In mathematics.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing I was going to bring up, that there's sort of 2 ways you can really go with ogres. You can either max out on the ogres, and then the first couple of games you're short on Noblars, but they are really cheap to buy, or you go with 4 ogres, max out on Noblars pretty much, and you've got loads of subs early on, which you need, but it takes you a while to get that 5th ogre.
I do believe a typical ogre team is actually 4 ogres, 8 Noblars, and 4 rerolls. Jbazza is actually only elected for 2 rerolls in this.
Yeah, this was an interesting thing I wanted to point out. Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's traditionally, for people who haven't seen him before, he is traditionally a bashy player. He plays Khemri, Chaos, Lizards, anything with high strength. That is like his playstyle. So this should fit his kind of playstyle. But 2 rerolls is with Bonehead. I mean, Bonehead is, in my opinion, one of those things of you just accept it. You don't reroll it unless it's like an urgent play. You save those rerolls for those key moments, those key throws. The one last thing we didn't point out is you can throw the Noblars.
You can,
and it's the best thing to do.
Right. I think that's kind of it for the ogre. Should we move on to the goblins?
Yeah, let's move on to the goblins.
Right, let's do. You ready?
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah. 1 second.
Production value, ladies and gentlemen.
It is core production value and transition. There we go. So this is. Let's just have a quick look through. I mean, goblins are. There is nothing ever standard about goblins ever. They are the most unstandard team in the world, thanks to their special weapons, which of course get sent off after the first drive, or hopefully the second drive if you have plenty of bribes to keep them going.
Basically, they get sent off of the drive that they are on.
There's not a lot of special weapons on this team. On this particular team, it's quite low on special weapons. I would have expected a fanatic as well.
Now, you see, for me,
but 2 trolls.
As a goblin player, somebody who's played goblins before, I rate the Fanatic and the Looney. The Bombardier is very hit and miss, in my opinion, but very fun, which I think is why Rocket's included him.
Yeah.
But what does shock me here is the lack of a Pogoer.
Yeah, you do need the
Pogoer. Is movement 7.
Same agility, if I recall.
Yeah, just doesn't have right stuff.
Yeah.
But that maneuverability makes him a very good style player. And I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure that the Pogoer isn't that much more expensive. I think it might be...
I think it's 50, 60?
Something like that, yeah. So it surprised me that he hasn't gone for it. You know, got rid of a goblin, gone for an extra Pogoer.
That being said, there's a lot of safety on this team. You know, you've got 2 spare goblins, you've got 3 rerolls, and you've got an apothecary as well to start with, which
I'm quite surprised by. However, I didn't take one in the first season, and a player died game 1. So maybe Rocket's learned from my terrible mistake.
Potentially, I mean that wouldn't surprise me at all.
A key thing to point out here is that he's got team value 890, which means that he's going to be at least 100k lower than the ogres, who have 1,000.
Yep.
Which means he's going to get 1,100 or 110k's worth of inducements, which will be, for the goblins, 2 bribes, which are important for keeping your secret weapons, of which he's only got 2.
Every single bribe possible.
So, I'm guessing we might see secret weapons throughout the entire game, depending on how lucky he gets.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely. I mean, the Looney is going to be key against the Ogres. Basically, the Chainsaw is really good against high armor opponents. The Bombardier as well is going to be very nice for clumped up groups of Noblars. You don't really. I mean, hopefully, Jbazza isn't going to clump up his Noblars and make them vulnerable to that, but you never know. The Trolls are probably going to be tied up with an Ogre each. And then it's really going to be down to the Goblins to not get completely squashed by the Ogres. But they're movement 6. Everybody on this team, bar the Trolls, is faster. Obviously, agility 3 across the board, except for the Trolls again, makes them easily picking up the ball. And somehow strength 2 is actually makes I think on average stronger than the Ogre team, because obviously every single Goblin is going to be hurting a Snotling. Absolutely.
I never thought I'd see this, but we're going to actually see a Goblin versus Noblar battle. Where the Goblins are actually stronger for the first time ever.
Except for season 1.
Stronger. Yeah, well,
when your Goblins faced against Adicals. No, it wasn't Adicals. It was Axles, I believe. It was Reapers. Yeah, it was Reapers.
Yes.
Team, which is very strange choosing doing that as your first ever league, but you know what? All fair play. It was he provided some of the best moments in season 1, as far as I'm concerned. It was
Ogres. I feel like Ogres and Goblins always do.
They do. I mean, I love to see Ogres. I love to see Goblins, and I love to see Halflings, not Boars.
Well, everyone loves stunty teams. I just hope that we see loads and loads of throwing. In fact, I hope that a player is thrown every turn of this match from both sides. They have enough expendable players to do it. I really, really hope.
They do indeed. Right, I think we should probably get on with the game.
I think we should. Yeah, I think we've rambled long enough.
We have indeed. So, should we let them know that we're ready to go?
Let them know.
Oh, such loud typing.
I apologise. Probably should let you do it in the future.
I've got a mechanical keyboard as well, so I assume we need to search for SideQuest. I think it would be under, or would it be under something else?
Yeah, search. I'm not sure if it's under Grumble or not.
It's under Grumble season 3. We need to make sure we put Grumble in.
Okay, cool.
Unless, of course, it does the other thing that we'll see.
Yeah, but they've got to go through the inducement phase before. So we have a couple of minutes to kill. So, okay, let's do this then. What's your prediction?
For this
Who
match,
do you think is going to come out on top in this match?
For this match in particular, my bet will always be on Goblins, simply because Noblars are... I love Ogres. I love the Ogre team. I think they're such a fun team to play, and they're really good. They're a really good challenge as well. But Snotlings are just awful. They really are. They are objectively the worst player in the game. Just for the sheer fact that they're going to get hit hard every single time. And the Ogres, they don't have Loner, which is great, but that's a lot of boneheads. You know, you're averaging just under 1 bonehead a turn. And you can get turns where 2 or 3 of your Ogres bonehead, and all of a sudden that's it. That's your turn, really, because you don't have... the Ogres are there to create space. They're there to take down high-threat opponents. They're very hard to take down themselves. You're very rarely going to see an Ogre go down unless, for example, in this case, a Troll takes them or the Chainsaw takes them. But if you go up against humans, orcs, even dwarves, there's no one that really has that amount of strength to take down that many Strength 5 players. But the thing is, they're a little bit like the Lizardman team. If you take down all the Skinks in the Lizardman team, they haven't got the ball, they can't score. And it's the same with Ogres. If you take down all of the Noblins, oh my god, I don't know what they're called. The Noblars, Snotlings, Goblins, whatever you want to call them. If you
not Goblins.
They're not Goblins, they're not Goblins. But if you take them down, then the Ogre team kind of becomes... they become stunted, essentially, for a lack of a better term, excuse the pun. They're very much in the... They're a bit like dwarves in the way that they're kind of a one-dimensional, one-tactic team, which is punch with the Ogres, score with the Noblars. That's your tactic, really. Whereas Goblins, I think, they're one of the most... Again, they're kind of one of the most fun teams, but they've got a little bit more range. They're movement 6 for a start, so they're automatically outpacing everybody. And they've also got the 2 Trolls, who are great, who are pretty good. They're pretty good big guys. They're not my favourite big guys because they're really stupid. I'd rather have Bonehead. But they just have a bit more to them in comparison to the Snotlings. Although... And unfortunately, they are being coached by, I think, one of the top coaches in the league. You know, Rocket did really well season 1 with vampires, and then basically stomped season 2. And I think
he's the one to beat.
And I think, if it was the other way round, if Rocket had Ogres, I would say I'd still say Goblins to win.
Yeah, so that's saying a lot there.
Well, no, I think Jbazza is on a similar level to Rocket, absolutely.
No, I mean that's how much the team is affecting.
It is absolutely.
It's the
yeah. I mean, Ogres are a hard team. They're a hard team to coach, and if you can coach them well, then you're all good.
I'd say arguably that Ogres are considered the worst team, just flat out.
I think
of all the teams.
You could say that.
I would agree with you that Goblins are going to win. My reasoning being basically the Ogre strategy tends to be bashy. It tends to be injure as much of the opponent as you can, so that your Nubblers can just run through, like especially sort of later in the halves, later in the game. The problem is because the Goblins all have dodge.
Yeah.
You're not actually going to knock that many of them down. So getting the player advantages is actually going to be very difficult for the Ogres. And whilst it's equally as difficult for the Goblins, because they're higher strength, it's just generally easier.
And you may want to tune in because a riot has just happened.
I have. I'm already in, yes.
We are a go. We are a go.
So the other interesting thing is Goblins thrive on having the first turn.
They do.
Because it can force you to use both your bribes if you don't. So this is interesting for the Goblins. And they've got both their secret weapons out. So if the Ogres do score, you're going to either see one or both of those secret weapons gone by the second half. Can confirm that the Goblins did get 2 bribes.
They did.
So, as I think expected.
I think absolutely. There's no doubt about having as many bribes as you can get on a Goblin team. As you would know, I mean, how many bribes did you have for the Elf final? You had, what, 4 or 5?
3's the max.
3's the max, there you go.
3 most games.
Ooh!
Well that could change up
that does make a difference. This is the thing. This is where having those that additional strength comes in. You've got the assist, and nothing on there, but the fact that you can assist against an ogre with just a single player is really, really big.
Yeah.
The thing is,
big guys are not a threat.
No. Oh my god, another armor break.
Just a stun.
That's just a stun, but that makes things difficult. That makes things very difficult.
Problem.
This is interesting. This is not how I'd expected the first turn to go. Not with a KO on an armor 9 opponent. Definitely not. But Mighty Blow makes a difference. It really, really does. This is where my miniature rant about Ogres being a terrible team goes completely out the window with Jbazza winning 3-0. This is totally.
See, everyone does pit against the Ogres, but I played a couple of friendlies against him and didn't do too well. So that bashiness is hard to combat, really.
I think one of the main issues with Ogres is on the Ogres. There's no reroll skills. There's no block. Oh my god, another arm break.
There is dodge.
There is dodge on the Noblas, but there's no sure hands. There's no pass. There's no catch. There's no real safety net. Whereas even with Orcs, you've got a safety net of a passing thrower. There's a little.
That KO, that stun on the Looney is pretty massive.
Yeah,
the Looney is going to be the biggest threat to these Ogres. +3 to the armor break.
I mean, if you're looking at the team, I'm looking at it from the Ogres' perspective. There's now quite a bit of space on that right hand side, because there's the left hand side troll's gone, the right hand side troll is out for a turn, and there's no Looney threat. There's actually quite a big space on the right hand side to go through.
I think the key thing here is that bar the Bombardier, which is random at best, there is no threat to these Ogres at all. I can't see him getting any significant blocks.
This is something I have noticed with Jbazza though, is that his turn, he takes every single second. His turn, he abuses every second.
Why not? I'm not going to say I don't.
But I'm so quick. I noticed that people I play against are like, oh look, they take the whole 2 minutes. I'm like, oh, I've got a minute to spare. Oh, whoops. And normally that means I'm being too aggressive. The benefit here is that there's, the Goblins can basically do what they want. They can run away. They're faster. What are the Ogres? They're movement 5. Yeah, they're movement 5. But as you can sort of see, the Goblins can just run through the gaps because of stunty. They're basically making a 3+ dodge with a reroll. Ooh. So yeah, exactly. They can do that, and they can do that all day, every day. They don't give a shit about the tackle zones on Titchy. They don't give a shit. I mean, Titchy doesn't affect Goblins because they've already got Stunty, so you don't have the modifier anyway. Twitch and Stunty kind of cancel each other out. But there's, you know, they can pretty much ignore. Oh, shit. Hey, Palpatine takes a bomb to the face. Oh, and the ogre goes down as well.
The ogre going down, I think, is a little bit more interesting.
I mean,
that's created quite a nice gap there.
There is definitely a nice gap. That means that there can be pressure on the ball carrier. The only problem is Rocket's going to be expecting a horde of ogres coming next time because unless basically the tactic here would be to have these two goblins on this Noblar and probably have a couple of just sacrificial. Yeah, a couple of sacrificial goblins marking these two center ogres because the left-hand side and the right-hand side ogre aren't going anywhere really. That's the thing about them being agility 2 is that, you know, unless you've got break tackle, they're not really moving very fast. Interesting. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah, definitely try and be a little bit more defensive.
I mean, with a 3+ dodge with a reroll on all these goblins. You can dodge for days really and be fairly comfortable.
That's what I'm looking forward to. I've got Underworld, so when I get my 2 heads mutation on my goblins, it's going to be
lordy.
2 plus everywhere. Unfortunately, when I go against the dwarves, it's not going to matter as much because look, your reroll's gone.
So I'm interested what Jbazza can do here because obviously with the troll down, you know, he's just hitting goblins, which is fairly fruitless, I suppose. You know, it's not easy to knock the goblins down either, even with ogres.
So their strength, I mean, they're getting 3 die every time because obviously strength 5 is over double 2.
I mean, there's just as much chance of an ogre knocking a goblin down as there is a goblin knocking a Noblar down.
There is, yeah. I think it's only 2 die for a goblin on a Noblar. You have to be over double to get the 3 die.
Sorry, yeah. Yeah, you're correct. So it is 2 die, but still, the dodge on both of these players makes it extra difficult at this stage.
There's a lot of dodge on the pitch. This is the most amount of dodge we'll probably see all season on the same team.
That Jbazza is not a particularly risky player.
No, very safe. Very safe.
At least on the PC version. On the tabletop, it's mental.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware of that.
But so yeah, see, he would rather go for the block.
I like this play. I like this blitz, and then obviously move into probably between those two, one of the 2 pairs of ogres in front. Basically make them kind of impossible to get to.
What I'm really interested to see is...
Oh, no, I was wrong.
In this situation, does he go for a quicker touchdown as possible to try and get those secret weapons off? Or does he stall just to sort of play it safe? Because the traditional strategy for people who don't know is to... If you receive the kick, is to score as late on as possible in your turn so that the opponent cannot counter in your receive half, basically. So that in the following half, the best they can do is score once and counter you, and sort of force a draw. I mean, he is known for stalling. Yeah, but whether he will do that or whether he will try and get rid of the secret weapons, it's going to be interesting.
If it were me, I think I would draw it out. I think
not following up there is interesting. Ogre. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would have followed up.
I would have done too.
I mean, I would. I didn't follow up there. I mean, I would always follow. I mean, I think perhaps Rockets try not to leave the ogres stranded, and I think that's something that is very easy to do with ogres. Is that all of a sudden, your ogres are very spread out across the pitch, and that is probably the reasoning there, is to try and keep them within a couple of spaces of each other.
I mean, obviously his ball carrier's already moved, but what you can see there is all of the goblins for Rocket are in Jbazza's half pretty much, besides the ones that are down.
Yep.
So what you've got on, if you're looking from the ogre's point of view, the left-hand side, you've got like a wall of ogres that are going to have to be dodged through to get back to the ball carrier, if he can get it beyond that line himself. So
that's an interesting blitz there. I think there was an attempt to try and get an ogre down. I think that's probably what's going through Jbazza's Rocket's mind. Is I've got to take an ogre down.
See, I think the Looney would have been a more likely success. That is unfortunate.
That's unfortunate.
Maybe forgetting that the Looney doesn't have dodge?
Yeah, there's no dodge on the Looney. Oh, is this a chainsaw on the...
No, because he's used his blitz. You see, that's why I was surprised that he because a chainsaw on a Noblar, you basically need to roll anything but a double 1 to wound him because it's +3 to the armor roll, and it's just a straight armor roll.
I'm just going to show the chainsaw rules. The chainsaw rules are there for you to have a look at.
Yeah, so as far as I know, it's you roll a 2+ to not hit yourself.
Yeah.
And then you make an armor roll and add 3 to it. So with armor 5, if you rolled a double 1, you would equal 5, so you wouldn't break it. But if you rolled anything higher than that, if you rolled a 3, you would break his armor. So he could have guaranteed.
It's all but guaranteed.
Knocking down the ball carrier.
It's basically a case of don't hurt yourself and don't roll a double 1.
Yeah, basically. I'm kind of surprised he didn't go for that.
I think in Rocket's head, it's like an ogre needs to go down. I have to get an ogre down. And I would absolutely agree, but I think you're just safe for getting the troll up. Maybe Rocket fears the troll going down again just by getting him up. I don't know, potentially.
I mean, I feel like in this situation with one troll down, you have to go for knocking out as many of the Noblars as possible because yes, the ogres could beat the crap out of you, but if he can't pick up the ball, he can't do anything. Especially with that loony, you every chainsaw on a Noblar is basically an injury. Pretty much. Yeah. Or at least an attempt at an injury or a knockout. So yeah, it shocks me that he's not doing that. And the big thing with Goblins, and this could be his inexperience or it could be particular strategy, I don't know, but the loony's a target because he's such a key player.
Yeah.
So you've got to protect him. And leaving the loony where he is ripe open for being hit. And the thing is, the chainsaw backfires on you. So if he goes down, you get +3 against his own armor.
Yeah.
Which basically means you have to roll a 5 or more. And because all the ogres aren't marked here, a blitz on the loony is quite possible, which I think we could see here. That bonehead won't help, though.
No, that's not going to help. No, there's no need. I'm surprised at the reroll. I mean, he's got 4. there are 4 rerolls available. Not anymore. There's only.
No, not for Jbazza.
Yeah.
It was 3 for Rocket.
It was only 2 for the ogres.
Yeah, 2 for the ogres, now 1.
Low, very low. And it's not. I wouldn't be using it on Bonehead. I'd be using it on.
I'd save it for a last turn throw if it were me, but you know what I'm like.
Things like go for it. Things like obviously you can only use the dodge ability on the player once. So if you're making multiple dodges and you fail a dodge roll after using it, then there's the potential for needing it there. Going for it's the big one.
He's got to blitz this loony, and like I said, he can knock him down, and the loony doesn't have dodge.
No dodge. And a stun again. It's another stun on the loony. That's him out for 2. Been out for 2 turns now.
That is lucky though that out of 2 injury rolls or armor rolls, he's not rolled a KO there.
So it's only a 5+ on Zach Corelli, yeah, because of the chainsaw. Can't be used, yeah. Fair enough. I think, I mean, definitely this right-hand side movement is ideal. Just because there seems to be, everyone... This is what I do. This is very much what I do, which is overcommitting. I tend to do it a lot, but if you ever see me play elves or humans, I tend to overcommit and try to get as much shit in the opponent's half to try and pressure. But the thing is, if you slip even once, ooh, that's not good.
It's a game of not rolling ones here.
Yeah, it's very much a game of not rolling ones.
You would not do well, Aaramus.
I would know. This is actually why I'm quite surprised that I chose Underworld, because that's very much a team of not rolling ones. I do not want to be rolling ones in that game because I've got a troll, so I need to not roll the really stupid.
Well, and all the dodges will be too.
And all the dodges, but luckily I've got 6 Skaven players, so it's not. Oh, that's good. There's that bonehead coming into play. No, there is an armor break and the first injury of the game. Golem is badly hurt. And
it's almost shocking that that's the first injury of the game. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, thanks to the bonehead, I do believe that there's no tackle zones.
No.
Ooh. Oh!
Lovely throw.
And this is where Armor 5 comes into play. It's amazing how quickly a game can turn around thanks to a low armor. And this kind of has turned things around. It's a little bit more in Rocket's favour now.
Yeah.
Yep, straight up. Ooh.
Ooh.
This is where you reroll ball carrying. Oh dear.
That is Nuffle right there.
That's Nuffle. That's Nuffle deciding, nope, you are not allowed to pick the ball up.
But it was the Ogres receive, so just to have control of the ball is important for Goblins. Being able to control.
There's a lot of tackle. There's a lot of tackle zones in and around that ball. There's
interesting decision here that Rocket needs to make. If you assume that he can score, right? If you assume he has the opportunity to score this turn, do you go for it, or do you wait? Because if you score, you lose both of your secret weapon players in the second half,
and you're potentially down to 10 players because there's no guarantee that the troll's going to come back either. It's
exactly.
50-50. There's no Bloodweiser Babe, so you're not rolling on a 3+. You're still only on a 4+.
Exactly. Whereas what he could just do is essentially just stall out the half. Basically, not score himself, but stop Jbazza scoring.
Yeah.
And then on his receive score, and he'll have his 2 secret weapons for that drive. So, what do you think? Will he go for the 1-0?
My only fear, of course, is there's quite a few ogres surrounding that ball. This is where I said where I think Rocket did really well not to spread her ogres out too wide.
Jbazza, you mean for the Ogres?
Yeah, God, I keep getting the...
You really want Rocket to be playing the Ogres, don't you?
I know, this is not good. This is not good for my casting career, getting the teams mixed up. But never mind, this is where Jbazza has done really good of not putting his Ogres out too wide, too far apart. They're nice, they're condensed. They're not too condensed, they're not all stuck on the halfway line doing nothing. But they're not so far wide out that they can't come and help each other. So you have got, that left-hand side ogre is doing jack. He's kind of just holding on to a goblin.
He's going to hit a goblin, which is helpful enough. That's all he needs to do, really.
I think that's a worthwhile 1-die. That definitely is.
Especially with that bounce.
That was a very good bounce. A very good bounce.
Yeah,
that's
chance of getting that.
That's a 6. You need a 6 to pick that up if you want to try and dodge through there. Unlucky, very unlucky on the pickup. But still, it's the ball's in a pretty safe place. That ogre's not moving. Not really. I mean, I guess the troll will get up, and then maybe the goblin will hit that knob.
The one problem that Jbazza's got now, is he's got a group of players there that are very susceptible to a bomb.
Yes.
You put it, 1 square to the left of where the ball is. You've got 2 ogres and 2 nobblers there, ripe for a bomb. Now, yes, they could catch it, but...
Sorry, Marv has just said in the chat that I'm calling, in this Merseyside derby, we have Liverpool playing in blue and Everton playing in red. God damn it.
You should be ashamed of yourself, really.
Ashamed of yourself.
I'm surprised again, this Looney has not done anything. He's not blitzed with it at all. He's been very conservative with it.
The Looney's been a bit kind of out of the game.
Yeah.
I don't think we've actually seen the chainsaw go off yet.
He's not used it. So, a correction to something I said earlier. The Looney's +3 to the chainsaw only occurs when the chainsaw's used, not if you just knock him down.
Oh, that was a nice bomb.
Ooh.
Very nice bomb.
So we've got a stun.
That's it, a stun and the knockdown.
Oh, I mean, that was okay. Could have been worse.
That's unfortunate. Oh my god, these... Oh! That makes things interesting. That's like my tree man picking it up. And then
thing is, though, it's 3 turns to get that ogre to score. Wouldn't be hopeful. He's got to really pass that off to a Noblar, of which there are only 2, both of which are down, and then there's a stunned one as well. Yeah, getting this ogre to actually go anywhere with it is going to be impressive.
Interestingly enough, I've just been looking on the stats. Jbazza has never beat Rocket in either Season 1 or 2.
Interesting.
The 1,000 Guardians lost 1-0 to Farron's Wolfblood Legion, which was Rocket's vampires. And then the Pytherian Algebras lost both times against the Rocket's Amazons. Both times. 2-1 in the tournament, and what was it?
2-1 in the tournament, and then what was it in the?
Oh, they drew. Then they drew. So actually 1-0. It was 1-1. So they drew.
Okay.
So
interesting.
Rocket is unbeaten in all 3 encounters in the league.
That is interesting. I mean, in season 2, Rocket, I don't think lost a game.
No, there was not a single loss.
So there is that. But yeah, the first season as Vampires wasn't amazing. He was good early on, but didn't end up that strong. So to beat the Khemri the first season was interesting.
Let's have a look.
But Goblin and Ogres are their own kettles of fish. I mean, it's quite hard to compare.
The Vampires came second. The Vampires came second in season 1.
Oh, did they?
3 wins, 2 losses. 7 touchdowns in total. It's pretty good. I mean, if you compare them to the fucking Amazons in season 2, it was honestly like it was the Arsenal Invincibles. It really was the Invincible season. They were absolutely amazing. 7 played, 6 wins, 1 draw, 12 touchdowns forward, and the only time they drew was actually funny enough against Jamie. Was Jbazza's Chaos team, and that was quite late. And that was quite late on as well. It was very late on. Yeah, 19 casualties, 19 points, which is literally 2 shy of the total points. Absolutely insane season from Rocket. Absolutely insane.
It was a very impressive showing.
It was a very impressive showing. And then if I
feel like this season is going to be a
different.
Bit tougher for both of these players. Both playing stunty teams for one, but just the sheer amount of block and tackle in this league.
Looney's KO'd. That Looney has been absolute shit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
He's not done anything.
He's done absolute jack all game. I'm sorry, Rocket. This is the worst Looney ever. I'm sorry.
Do you remember him saying that his Bombardier is a favourite? Oh, well, maybe not for long.
No. Oh, okay, just a stun.
He's been quite lucky with these injuries, Rockets, considering.
The Bombardier's done quite well. This has been, I mean, Bombardiers I normally find are one of the worst, it's probably the worst secret weapon. I find the Fanatic and the Chainsaw are much more effective. I'm surprised at the lack of Fanatic. I think the Fanatic is my favourite. I think it's so good at line clear. Oh, and another injury.
Ooh.
The teams are fairly level. It's 3 to 3. Obviously,
this blitz is interesting.
Rocket's got the advantage of having 2 KOs rather than 2 injuries. I think we'll see an Ogre score. I think we will see an Ogre score. It'll be the first time ever.
The risk he's got is that because he didn't make a go for it just then, he's going to have to make 2 go for it with no rerolls on his final 10.
Yeah.
And potentially a dodge, depending on what Rocket can do. So, this is nail-biting, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I think...
An Ogre score as well is very vital, actually, because it means it's very easy to level... Leveling up Ogres is quite tough because you need 3 casualties to get that first level up.
Yeah.
But a touchdown pretty much guarantees that, especially this one, who I believe has already got an injury, that's a level up. Level up on an Ogre this early is going to be pretty important.
That's really nasty for future teams because that's where the Ogres sometimes struggle is leveling up. They do obviously have Mighty Blow to help with that, but you know they could be kind of taken out of the game with good dodges and good positioning.
Their biggest weakness, you could say, is not only Bonehead, but is the use of rerolls. You need to use rerolls for those key plays. He's only got 2 of them, so things like not having block can be devastating to a Bashley team. So if you can get block on all your Ogres like early on, that can set you for a league, you know. So this is going to be interesting.
I can't remember who.
Now here's a risk.
Got next.
The Bonehead on George Bush. That's one of those situations, in my opinion, where you're better off just not using a player than doing that, because he would have got an extra hit on either the Troll or the Goblin, but that Bonehead has just opened up all those tackle zones.
Yeah.
So you've really got to be careful. And one thing a lot of players don't realise in Blood Bowl is sometimes doing nothing is the best option.
Yeah, absolutely. Take the safer option. It is a game about risk management, absolutely. So here, this is, that the Ogre's going to go for it. I mean, that's nice. That placement there is decent. I mean, I think the Angrian is probably going to blitz and take the Goblin out. There's no sidestep on the Goblin to to do anything.
No, he can't because he's being touched by a goblin
He
himself.
is. Yeah, there is actually. This is okay. This makes things interesting.
The move would be to have was it Ramsay Bolton? The Noblar blitz that goblin. One, two, three,
alternatively, 4, 5. Or do you actually blitz? Whoa!
That could be devastating for
That's
for
not
Rocket.
good. That's not good at all.
And failed the regeneration.
I'd have laughed if that was an injury on the ogre as well.
This could be.
That's 2 trolls down.
Because if that troll doesn't come back next drive,
yeah, Rocket needs that
got
troll.
Nothing. He's just got goblins. All right, I'm expecting a blitz here on the goblin.
I wonder if
go for it.
I wonder if Donald Trump blitzes.
Who?
No, you can't, because then if you don't get a knockdown, then they can't make it. Then the ogre can't make it. No, maybe not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, maybe not.
You've got to blitz with this free. There's a free Noblard that doesn't have to make any dodges to do that blitz.
Yeah,
and
that's
definitely.
Yeah, it's Ramsay Bolton. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you need to do, and then 2 go for it because you need to take a few risks. There's no rerolls here.
I would just do it. I wouldn't even don't block with the ogres. Let the ogres be, and then just go for the score. It's your last turn. You have to go for it. And especially as the next half, the goblins are going to be having the ball. Oh,
see, you had to make a dodge with that one.
Okay, that's fine. A push is acceptable there.
I mean, that was just an added risk.
That was an intro. I mean, it's a 2+, so it's not the end of the world, but
it worked. So now, how many ones can you roll?
That's the score. 1-0.
Oh, I must say, I never would have called an ogre scoring. Not in this season. Never mind.
Never mind.
Now, this is the other devastating thing: is the secret weapons going off because it's not the end of the half yet.
Oh yeah.
He's got to use his bribes.
I think you.
Back up.
Yeah.
But he's got to use his bribes here to keep his players on the pitch.
I think you.
And then he has to use them again.
Yeah, so I think you use one bribe now.
Yeah.
Let one of them get sent off.
See, this was an interesting move. He let the bombardier get sent off.
Yeah, keep the loony.
Because the loony's better, but the loony's knocked out. If the loony doesn't get back up.
Yeah.
Oh, the bribe failed.
Oh shit.
So he loses the loony.
Yeah.
He's lost both of his secret players there, which
is that's bad.
Yeah,
that's really bad.
One troll and only goblins left for the second half.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And he's not going to get another chance to.
That's it. 9 players.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to see some flying goblins here for anything to happen.
You can't stump the Trump, indeed. I love this.
Rocket says that you the ref's going to get shanked after this game. What I'm surprised is that he didn't use his second bribe, though. He had 2.
No, I can understand why. Because because he's going to get sent off, you might as well keep the bribe for fouling.
I suppose.
Yeah, I would. Because otherwise it's just a wasted bribe. Because that bribe goes off.
But his only opportunity now is to foul as many Noblars as he can.
Because the loony wasn't going to come back. Because he was KO'd. And he hadn't come back. So he'd have been sent off again after the.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
The half time, and then obviously you haven't got the bribe. You haven't got a bribe to come back. So you might as well okay, I failed the bribe. I've got 1 left. Instead of wasting on it on a futile attempt to bring him back, use it as a fouling. Get the. I mean,
especially on these Noblars.
Yeah, foul the
good.
living shit out of the Noblars. Absolutely. Just absolutely fuck them up if you can. That's where. The game is... Oh, wait, that's completely pointless. That is a... Oh. I'll tell you what, though.
There is a scoring possibility.
There is a
1-turn
touchdown ability right here. If it is
I want to see it.
No, you can't do it anymore.
I think he's forgotten that you can't do 2 passes in a row.
Throws, yeah.
Again, that's a beginner's thing when you're playing Goblins. It's forgetting to throw a teammate as a pass.
It's
so
interesting
you can't pass
how
the ball and pass throw a teammate.
Yeah,
which is
it's
annoying.
interesting how you can't. How you can be a very experienced player in Blood Bowl. You can go on to do very well as vampires in season 1. You can then destroy everybody in season 2 as Amazons, and then you can forget some basic rules.
I mean,
in a team you haven't played.
Teams have their own. Yeah, they have their own finesses, their own things that you just have to learn. I made the exact same mistake in season 1 as Goblins. And then proceeded to learn from it from that on. So he won't make that mistake again.
I basically forgot that throwing halflings into the opponent is a thing.
Yeah, they are
I
ammunition.
kept forgetting to do that. I was like, oh, actually, my halflings are completely and utterly expendable. And yeah, nothing, no down on the ogre. I think the plan would have been maybe to get an ogre down and foul the ogre. Alright, this will be interesting. Is that Noblin? No, Noblin's not getting up. I keep things level. I think it's just a one-player advantage for Jbazza. Oh, my screen's gone black.
Mine did too.
Okay, it's not just...
Not that badly. Press escape, perhaps?
There we go. We're all good. And I remembered to put the score, to change the score in the UI, so I'm happy.
Oh yeah, that's the issue with having your own UI. You got to remember to do it.
Yeah. I wish I could script it. I wish I could script it. I don't know how to do that though.
Not with Blood Bowl.
I was like, when I was making it, I was like, shit, have I got to add like different weather icons? I was like, you know what, I'll just make a square. And that way, we're not, I'm just not going to get confused. The only problem was down the bottom right was
covering the
yes,
the rolls. You kind of need to move that.
Well, it's not just that you can't. There's a bit of like artwork behind it, and it's kind of overlapping.
Right.
So I just kind of went fuck it. You don't miss it. You don't really actually miss any of the rolls itself. I kind of checked. It's okay.
Okay, it's just the very end of the word failure.
It's because E goes over the artwork, and I wanted to cover the artwork more than anything.
Sure.
So it's fine. No one cares. No one's noticed until we just told them.
So 10 players for the Ogres.
10 versus 9.
9 for the Goblins. Yeah, not what I was expecting.
I mean, nobody was expecting an injured troll. Let's be honest.
No.
We were expecting many goblins and many noblars to go down, but no.
I was expecting more noblars out. Yeah.
The noblars have, I would say, fairly resistant. 2 of them are gone. Let's have a look at those injuries. So badly hurt for pretty much everyone, I think. I don't think there is a statistical change. No, everybody's badly hurt. So we're going to see the next game. Interesting. There's a very, very wide line. Very wide. So this is the thing. Do you go for an early... you've got to win 2-1. You have to win 2-1 now. Oh, that's very that's nice.
Interesting.
That's nice. That's very good for Rocket. Yeah. Do you go for a 1-turn touchdown now and then maybe try and steal the ball off the Ogres, or do you? I mean, or do you maybe? I don't know. I guess you kind of have to. You kind of have to go for. You need to score. You need to score. You need touchdowns.
To score twice.
Yeah.
So he needs to score once and then steal the ball. So yes, as quickly as you can, really, and. With these gaps, I'd say you want to mark as many noblars as you can.
Yeah. Although
and try and do as much damage to them.
I'll tell you what we could see is because all 3 noblars in the back are stunned. Yeah, exactly. Run straight down the middle. They're not getting back up for another turn.
Yeah, and if he can mark, if he uses his goblin on the left, if you're looking at the Ogres, to mark that one noblar. I mean, it's only a 2+.
I'm gonna switch to Rocket's view now that it's their half.
Okay. Seems fair.
Sidestep the murderer. You can't.
The murderer strat.
You can't go to Surf City thanks to sidestep. I mean, you've got to go.
He has knocked him down.
Yeah,
so...
true. And an armor break as well.
But just a stun, that's all he needs. So now, what has Jbazza really got? He's got...
Movement 5. That's the problem, movement 5.
He's got movement 5. He's got an ogre and a nobbler that can't reach.
No.
His one strat here, and we'll see if Rocket picks up on it, his only real play, and it's really hopeful at best, is to throw that nobbler with that loose ogre towards the ball.
Oh, I would love that.
Mark the ball carrier.
Oh, just go for a 2-die red die.
Oh,
just go for it. Oh, yeah, yes. Foul. Yeah, foul. We like a foul. Oh, this is nothing.
Wow.
You had to get a 4 up. You had to get a 4.
And then he just stunned him, which he already was.
I mean,
so at least he broke the armor.
I mean, if you get a KO there, it's worth it. And you've got, the bribe is still in play, so there's no problem. So I think this is why actually keeping that bribe is really good. Yeah, I mean, I would throw, absolutely. Throw
Throw that one Nobbler.
Throw the Nobbler and just go for a blitz. Why not? If you get a both down.
Ooh, the other option here.
Yeah.
The other option is to blitz Fandango, the guy left to the troll, because the troll's really stupid. Yeah, he might be doing this. He can free up that ogre to at least base the ball. I mean, it's not going to do much, but at least it's
unfortunately
a dodge he has to make.
Yeah.
That's all you've got to do. You know, you've got to make your opponent make rolls.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Chase. Put pressure on.
Yeah. So I'd say,
I mean,
mark
I don't
the
think
ball with this other ogre.
We're not going to be seeing a stall. We're definitely not going to see a stall from Rocket.
It would be daft too.
It would be very daft. Yeah.
The question is going to be: does he go for it, or does he just?
I mean, I wonder if maybe. I mean, what is it with agility 2 dodge? Is that 5+, or is it? It's a 4+, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it'd be a 4+.
That's a 4+. I mean, 50-50 chance with a reroll. Maybe you dodge out with the ogre for a blitz, for a cheeky blitz, as a potential, as another alternative. I mean, 4-up isn't awful. I mean, this, barring some terrible rolls from Rocket, this Goblin's probably going to score.
I mean, this Goblin can get, with one go for it, can get 1 square away from touchdown and be out of range of everybody but that one ogre.
Yeah, I think you've got to go for it. I
don't think he should score. I think he's got to just go for it.
I'm going to disagree, because you need as many turns as possible. Oh! Here comes the troll. Oh, not quite.
Yeah,
not quite.
Oh,
well.
A reroll on that's even more interesting, I think.
Worth it. Worked, I think, it worked. That's where you get
with
both.
Loner, that's risky.
That's where you get both down and cry.
Yeah, exactly.
My reasoning for
risk, in my opinion.
I think I wouldn't risk it now. Without the reroll, don't go for it.
Yeah, this is the problem. He now can't really risk to go for it.
Yeah.
But
my reasoning beforehand was because you just need as many turns as possible to get that to steal the ball.
Sure. Where is he caging this?
I think
because I was assuming he would go as far towards the touchline as possible.
Yeah.
But maybe not.
I think yes, but to try and maybe just try and stop the Nobbler basing him, I think as well.
But you see, he's left. There's now 3 players that can potentially base him there. I think.
3? Only 1.
You've got the ogre, and the 2 down Nobblers can now
there's
all go
there's a Noblin called Aaramus.
Yes.
Why am I?
I wonder who that's after.
I wonder who that's after. Yeah. I think that was after the only team to beat the Amazons was my elf team. Everybody hated that team. It was the best league of all time.
Not gonna lie, I'm totally gonna look at doing elves next season.
I think next season is either gonna be Nurgle or Dark Elves for me.
I just feel like with the amount of dwarves that we got in this season,
so nasty.
It's no whole bar anymore. No, you just got to go for it. And I'm not an elf player either, so I'm not going to do very well.
I think if somebody was playing an elf team, they'd do really well, because dwarves don't really do shit against elf teams. Because
we didn't have an elf team.
Elf teams don't have a lot of dodge. They don't have a lot of dodge.
No.
Not to begin with, anyway. I mean, I play pro elf, so they definitely don't have dodge. Ooh, cheeky.
So, yeah. This is the risk.
Is that a 1 die if Aaramus can blitz? Yeah. No, they can't blitz.
No, can't blitz. But yeah, you can get another. You can get another player on him.
He can. I mean, I would say.
Oh, 2 boneheads.
Yeah, that's
not that it really matters, but.
Apparently, Adakor said Necromantic next season. I fucking hate Necro.
I love Necro as my favourite team.
Don't get me wrong, I think they are one of the best teams available. They're so good. But I just cannot beat them. SideQuest Casualties 2 Electric Boogaloo. Oh my god.
Now, here's an interesting thing for you. Blood Bowl 2 World Cup this season. I don't know if you followed it at all.
I haven't watched it.
I didn't watch it, but I did follow it a bit. Everybody moans about elves and dwarves and lizards because they're strong. Do you know who the final was at the World Cup this year?
Who was it?
Humans versus undead.
Oh my!
And I'm just double checking, but I feel like the humans won. Just going to show that skill can outdo sort of a good team, so to speak. You know, humans being considered the most sort of
average,
not mediocre, but they're not good at anything. They're all right at everything.
They are,
is
yeah.
what they're generally considered.
What you have to do as humans is you have to exploit your opponent's weakness. If you're against a bash team, you dodge. If you're against a dodgy team, you bash. That's kind of what you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
And having so many skills on that team, it's, you know, it's ridiculous. And their blitzers are, I think, oh, yeah. Did we misread that? Did we misread that blitz? I thought you couldn't reach him. Oh! Hot damn. Hot damn.
No, because it's not Aaramus that did it.
No, it wasn't. It was, oh, okay, fine.
This is why I'm shocked that Rocket didn't go a square to the right.
Yeah.
From where he did, because that would have put him out of range of pretty much everything.
Pretty much, yeah.
No, this is a bit of a situation for Rocket. I mean, it's not impossible, but the big problem Rocket's got, and I don't know if he will notice or remember, because it's the easily forgotten, is he's going to want to block Ramsay Bolton to get him off the ball. But Ramsay Bolton's got sidestep. He will sidestep onto the ball, which could send it off the pitch. That could make or break this drive.
I mean, that's. I think you quite simply blitz the Noblar. Although they got sidestep, that's the issue. Sidestep makes it a fucking bitch.
Yeah, you can't hit that Noblar without risking him going on the ball.
That is a bitch.
That's one hell of a pick.
That's one heck of a bitch. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, you can't... Yeah, there you go. That's on the ball, though.
But, yeah, this is what I'm saying. There's a 3 in 8 chance of this going off. And that could be devastating. I mean, you've got to follow, I feel like, and hope that it scatters in your favour as the Goblins here.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Got away with it. Got away with it a little bit, and then, yeah, up and score. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, well played. That was well played by Rocket there.
But a little bit of Nuffle in his favour.
A little bit of luck. A little bit of luck. But I think considering the Troll's injured, I think that's kind of evens out.
You've got to... Yeah, I suppose.
Let's change that to 1-1. Here we go. Do. Dead and injured 4. The Noblars come back on the KO.
Ooh.
So right, we'll switch to the Ogres again. I always do the receiving team. It's just easier that way.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just trying to think, like, Ogres have the advantage here. Definitely player advantage receiving. But, you know, I think, I don't know, it's a difficult one to call at this stage. I think it could easily end 1-1. I think there was a little bit of luck in Jbazza's favour of the Ogre picking it up. You know, every single Noblar is a target thanks to Stunty on the Goblins. So, you know, they're just going to be running through, and with a couple of extra assists, then you're always getting a 2-die on a Noblar. Double bribe.
That could have been a useful idea.
And touchback.
Now, touchback. Now, does he give it to an Ogre? Because that's going to make it very difficult.
Yes, give it to an Ogre. Absolutely give it to an Ogre.
That's what I would love to see, and I'd love him to do.
Yep. Oh, no. It looked like, honestly, I actually thought it was going to an Ogre then.
I was getting hopeful. Yeah, the risk obviously being is it takes at least 3 turns to get an Ogre to the touchdown, and all you need is 1 or 2 boneheads, and yeah, you're playing it really tight. So,
there's a dodge.
Yeah,
I don't think we've seen, and obviously I don't want to tempt it. Yes, I absolutely want to tempt it. We haven't had a double skull yet.
No, we haven't, and with this few rerolls as well. Although I suppose Jbazza has been blocking with a lot of Three
dice, yeah. I mean, that. Oh, hold on a minute. My tree man got a 3-dice skull, and then re-rolled a 3-dice skull, if I recall, which I think was like 1 in a stupid Nuffle chance.
One in a Nuffle.
One in a Nuffle. Yeah, he giveth, he taketh. Oh, I literally jinxed it. I jinxed it.
Oh my god! Well, what? He's got an apothecary.
Yeah, apothecary, yeah.
Into dead.
Oh, he's
dead.
dead.
Into dead.
He's dead.
Well, I feel like Rocket's. Oh, regen, saving the day. That would have been Rocket's season there and then. He just would have wanted to
oh my god.
rage quit. Losing a troll first game is very unrecoverable as Goblins because that amount
that was amazing.
140k to replace that. Too much.
Oh, that was wonderful.
Into regen. And here's the thing, Jbazza always says regen is a useless skill. I would like to direct you to case A.
Exhibit A. Yeah, I jinxed it. I said the words and thus the death happened. Oh, wait, we'll reroll. Interesting. That's a little bit of desperation there. A little bit of desperation.
I think that was the right decision. It's unlucky that didn't injure the Noblar, but
yeah.
Because he's still got to pick it up again before he can do anything, and it's another roll that Jbazza's got to make on no rerolls.
Yeah, definitely. And they're only there's no sure hands on the team, so you're looking at three. You're looking at 3 up. And
this is the thing with both these teams. This is probably the most interesting time for them to play because leveling up these teams is very difficult. Because the players that tend to level up tend to be the players that die.
They kind of do. Although in this case, it's going to be the Ogres leveling up.
Well, shockingly,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, the one's on 5 SPP because he got the touchdown and the injury, so it's not going to be that long for him to level up.
No,
but
it's not.
The injuries are spread about.
It'd be interesting who's going to get MVP.
Yes, that'll make a massive difference because there's now 3 out of 5 Ogres that would level up from an MVP.
Yeah. And before it goes on an injured Noblar. I do wish that Blood Bowl 2 implemented the tabletop system. Ooh. Where you nominate 3 players and it's random between those 3. I don't like the fact that
Is that the actual tabletop system? That was always just a house rule that I used to do.
It is the tabletop system. You nominate 3 and roll a die between them.
Seems
compared to this one where obviously I think it either chooses
it.
It's either random or the most SPP, I think. I can never really tell.
It's definitely not whoever has the most SPP. Definitely random.
Oh, that's
in the original tabletop, it was roll a D16, and that was how you decided. Oh god, because you have 16 players.
That's not good the way of doing it. There's an Aaramus roll there with the double 1 on the dodge, on a 2+ dodge. Roll a double 1. You cannot get more me than that.
I'm interested to see how bad the
Curse
is going to be.
I mean, the Caster's Curse came out on the fucking death. Oh dear. Oh, there hasn't been a double skull. Oh look, what happened? Oh wait, the troll died. Luckily, he's not actually dead. I mean, that'd have been good. I think. Oh my god.
I think that'd go towards your casualty count as well. I feel like it would definitely go towards you.
Have we got Steph this season again?
A player called Steph? I don't know. I don't think so.
Cool. You need to confirm in chat whether you got another player called Steph. Because I think I've killed Steph twice.
I'm not gonna lie. So for those who don't know, in the first season or second season,
it was with both seasons.
Second
one in each.
Oh, in both seasons there was a player called Steph who then died, who then joined an undead team and then died twice more.
There is no Steph in this season.
However, if I play Necromantic or Undead next season, there will be a Steph, and she'll die.
There will be a Steph. I already have my names for my team next season. It's going to be based on the England World Cup team.
Oh, dear.
Absolutely.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, indeed. You better be worried.
So it's just a list of disappointing.
I mean, I could. Yeah, it could be. I could play humans next season, just like rather than your weird human lineman.
Human lineman only. That
I thought
still managed to get to.
I thought about a better way of doing that. What if you that could be competitive? What if you did, high elf linemen? So
Now,
agility.
the reason I did human lineman only was because it was as average as you could get.
Yeah.
It was like, what? How could you do?
Oh, bye R-Truth.
How well would you do with just a team of bog average players and no skills?
But I think if you want
With elves, you would be pretty good.
They're armor 8. They're armor 8, movement 6, and agility 4.
Yeah, you would do a lot better.
You would do a lot. I mean, it would be interesting. I might do that one season, not next one, because I kind of want to win next season.
It's interesting going to be what the teams are next season. But for now, this season.
I'll say, run season 3, we're getting way ahead of ourselves. There is a game happening. And there's goblins dying left, right. Oh, another one.
A lot of injuries.
Bye-bye, a Jack, a Swagger.
Is that how you pronounce it? Jack, a Swagger.
Jack, a Swagger. That ball's now fairly protected. The goblins are all down, except for Fandango.
The issue Jbazza's got is he has to really go for this ball. Because he's only got 3 turns to score.
Yeah.
After this.
And there's pickup issues involved.
Yeah. There's not only pickup issues involved.
Grembo's got a good point. You do a lot better, says the guy that came second with the human lineman. Yeah.
You probably come first.
you didn't really do that badly with considerable things. I don't know if that's just a testament to how... I mean, just purely chaotic.
Season 1, Goblins, I came second. Season 2, only human lineman.
I don't think you deserve to win that semi-final. Oh my god, another.
I didn't deserve to win either of them.
Another goblin bites the dust.
This is a problem now.
Level up. Donald Trump levels up.
What's the bet he gets the SPP?
The man in the match. Yeah,
so Rocket's got 4 players left. And Jbazza picking up that ball is pretty key.
I'd have nestled that Noblar between the 2 ogres.
The problem he's got 1, 2, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. He can score in 2 turns from where he is.
Yeah.
But yes, it's a race against time now. This could easily end.
It's also 5 goblins. There was one hidden behind the ogre.
Yeah, find a fat ogre behind George Bush.
Yeah, George W. Bush.
Thing is, as well, this is probably one of the better games for Jbazza.
Take the
purely
both down.
Because.
Yes,
you've got to.
Oh,
yes,
double worth.
I
would have made one amendment to that move.
Yeah, which was
I'd have
got one of the other.
I'd have put another goblin up next to the ball.
Yeah.
Just to force more dice rolls. That's what you need to do in this game, is force as many dice rolls as you can.
Yeah. The thing is, for Jbazza, here we go. So he's now got 1, 2 ogres on 4 SPP, 1 that's leveled up.
Yeah.
This is a great start for Jbazza.
This is a really good start.
If you can get block on 3 of these ogres by the end of
nasty.
this game, that's going to make the dwarves think twice.
It is.
Because their block is now no longer useful.
This is where we see every ogre boneheading.
I mean, that's not the end of the world. He's just got to pick this ball up and go.
But that's the thing. You got 3 turns to at least pick it up and move it with no reroll. So if you roll a couple of 2s, which isn't unlikely. Oh, interesting. Trying to get I think there's some Surf City.
I'm shocked at this because he has no. If that had failed, that had gone both down, that had almost ruin his chances of.
I think it would, yeah.
Scoring.
There's a little bit.
For me, that's an order management. He needs to do the pickup first.
Oh wait, what?
Wait,
what? Pick up the ball. Pick up the ball!
Oh, he wants to level up his ogres.
He did it! He actually did it! The madman!
This is the guy who did a passing game with Khemri, so I'm almost not surprised. But
did he bathe in the Nuffle scented oils before this game? Because Jesus Christ.
Clearly. My abs are quivering with delight.
Immediate restraining order. Immediate restraining order.
10 points to Gryffindor for everybody who gets that.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
This is risky, though, because...
I can't believe he did that.
If he doesn't want to do a go for it, right? If he doesn't want to risk a go for it with no rerolls...
No, that's unfortunate. That's very unlucky.
If Jbazza boneheads here, he's going to have to do a go for it at some point.
Could you imagine a double bonehead on that ogre?
Well, this is the thing. Do you risk boneheading in the last turn? Or do you risk the go for it?
I mean, it's the same roll.
I say you have to do go for it now.
It's the same. Oh boy.
Yep.
Oh!
So this is where greed has overtaken, because now...
Should have gone with the Noblar. Oh my god.
Basically, he's got to do two 2+s next turn. He should definitely foul that goblin that is
absolutely. Just
next to him with a Noblar, because Noblars are, sending off is nothing.
It is nothing.
On turn 15, you've got to foul and injure that goblin. Stop him basing that ogre. 'Cause if he bases that ogre, that's just another roll.
Yeah, unfortunately, because Stunty's gonna mess that up.
See, for me, what I would do is I would move Theresa May into that gap so that
someone needs to go in that gap.
Oh, he's done it with a go for it instead. And now a foul at this stage is a 2+, I think.
It's the rolls without any. Oh yeah, there's a foul. Stun, yeah. Oh, injury, even better. That's
even better. But
right. So there's one less dodge roll. Oh, sending off. Not that it really matters.
He has got a bribe, thanks to the ref. Oh,
did he use it?
Yeah, failed it.
Yeah.
Maybe he just got rid of his one. Maybe.
Potentially.
He's got to do two 2+s now. This will be a scene if greed has overcome this game. It wouldn't be the first time. It wouldn't be. There was a game that I had against him where he could have beaten my goblins and he stalled for one turn too many.
There is a possibility. Damien Sandow can base the ogre.
Yes, and I think you have to go for it.
Stunty makes all of those tackle zones irrelevant. Surely. Oh, that's very unlucky.
But that's where
the injury box is full.
It's just full. I was just about to point that out to you. In fact, it's overflowing.
The injury box is full. It's full.
Right.
Well, here comes greed.
We got 2-bit.
Hey, he did it. He did it.
Nuffle has blessed him today. Jesus.
Good game. Good gamey game.
That is a hell of a start to the season.
What on earth has happened?
I'm not sure. Well, we were both proven wrong.
We were both incredibly wrong. I was
an injured Noblar and an injured Goblin both got the SPP.
We could not have been more wrong about that game. Just to say, we could not have been more wrong about that game. 16 armor breaks. 16.
I'm shocked.
Let's take a look at some stats. The Boneheads had 62% ball possession compared to the Goblins 12%. Motherfucker. 36 blocks succeeded. Jesus.
I think the important thing here, though, obviously the win, but is the 2 ogre level ups. I believe.
It's kind of a shame
that is season changing.
That is. Oh my word! This makes the ogre team a lot more worrisome. Yeah. I mean, I don't.
Good opening for the ogre.
Just a little bit. I don't think they're going to be a threat to my personal top 4. I don't think they're going to be a threat to Chaos Dwarves. I don't think they're going to be a threat to Lizards or Khemri. But oh my god, I mean, this makes to Bretonians, Kislev, the teams who maybe would have thought that there's some guaranteed 3 points. That's worrying. That's you can't. Yeah. That's not good.
It's certainly shooken things up.
Let's have a look at some dice rolls. I mean, to be fair, Jbazza rolled 37 ones compared to everything else, which is about 25, 26, 27. He rolled a lot of ones that game.
More so than anything else. But
and actually, the Goblins only rolled 18 ones.
Yeah, the Goblins rolled more.
That's just, I mean,
6s and 5s.
Sorry.
It depends when they are, you see. If those runs are re-rolled because of dodge automatically, suddenly it's negated a little bit.
It is.
But yeah.
Oh my. That was a game oh my. That was a game that happened.
The Bonehead didn't screw him, which was...
I think this might have been my fault, because I crossed out the Amazon logo on their logo. I removed any skill that there was from the Amazon team infecting the Goblin team.
looking at the Goblins' dodges, which were only with Goblins, I assume.
Yeah.
62%. I believe that's below average considering he has a reroll.
Yeah.
62% is what you would expect without a reroll.
Yeah.
It's a 3+. So, yeah.
That should have been higher. That probably should have been a bit higher.
But,
oh my word. 4. I mean, those 4 pickups certainly didn't help. The 4 failed pickups.
I feel that once Rocket conceded in the first half and then lost his secret weapons because of that bribe.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
And the troll. I think it was.
I mean, the fact that there was only ever one troll on the pitch for the whole game.
Yeah.
There was never more than one troll. So that is just that's just not good.
Well, we're gonna bring both the coaches in, have a quick word, see how they thought it went.
I mean, I can only see how one-sided that conversation is going to be.
So we'll bring them in now, and then we shall wrap up.
Yeah. Just having a look at the next thing. So the Ogres have me next in the Raditz Rodents. So Underworld, a very similar team to Goblins, actually. With the
Is that the Ogres' next game?
That's the Ogres' next game. So very, very similar team, with the exception of that my Skaven don't die quite as bad as Goblins and are a little bit better with Strength 3.
I disagree because Skaven don't have dodge. I'd say
but they're
same armor, but no dodge.
But they're Strength 3, so guaranteed 3 die at least, and their armor 7, which is better than which is is a bit better. Still. And the movement 7, as well. I
do feel that it's probably the best opening you can really hope for Ogres. The 2 weakest teams.
Yeah.
2 level ups.
I mean, I think if I was Ogres, I would have quite liked to go against a unleveled Lizardman team.
Yes, definitely yes.
That's Jbazza.
Not play them second to last.
And then
welcome into the chat, Jbazza.
Hello.
And Rocket.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, guys.
Oh boy.
How was that? Jbazza, we'll start with you. How did you feel that went?
I mean, I can't complain. I think if I complained, then I think I would get murdered. So
much like that referee. I
mean, no. The injury or the MVP going to Nigel Farage. Why?
Because it's completely random.
Gorge Bush did much more work than him.
I feel like of all the things to complain
all
about,
on its own. Nigel Farage sat in his backside. Got man of the match.
Rocket, how do you feel it went?
I feel like my team lived up to their names, expectations placed upon those names. And by that I mean they got completely massacred.
At least you got one level up.
I'm very disappointed that Aaramus didn't get more of a say in that game.
Oh, we too were disappointed by that.
Yeah, I was particularly disappointed by that. Particularly so.
To be fair, I think I could have dropped that game if I just didn't play so badly. I forgot a lot of things that game. Like, I forgot really stupid gets rid of tackle zones.
Mm-hmm.
And I also just positioned my Looney really badly for the entire match.
You got unfortunate as well of I made the same mistake first season, was passing with the Goblins counts as a throw teammate pass.
I realized that after I did it, and I was just like, "Oh no!"
That's just one of those things that you do once and you never do again.
Yeah. Now that I have learned the sorrow, I will not do it again.
I mean, it was a very exciting game, I have to say.
We were very happy with that.
At the end, I was literally just throwing goblins at the ogres.
Too right. I do feel that Jbazza got a little bit lucky that scoring with 2 ogres, from a SPP point of view, but also not boneheading on like the last turn or not failing to go for it.
As a vampire player, that makes me extremely jealous.
I will say, I was calling bonehead. This guy was bonehead. I was calling all the failures that just didn't happen.
So, very exciting game. Unexpected, I think we'd say.
Yeah,
both me and Aaramus called the Goblins.
We were saying in the pre-game actually that we do both think that Ogres, from a purely on paper point of view, that Ogres are probably one of the worst teams, and yet.
The worst team.
And yet, and yet, yeah, they proved us wrong. We both were eating our hats after this game, definitely.
Yeah.
I went into this game expecting for my Goblins to get beat around, but it went worse than I expected.
Well, you weren't expecting the troll to get injured and the other one to die.
The other one died, and the only thing that saved it was regen for the first time in my Blood Bowl career.
The reroll into dead. How did that roll make you feel?
it just, well, at that point it didn't upset me, because at that point about 8 of my players were already injured.
You actually managed to overfill the injury box. They were going into your KO section.
I'm shocked that happened to the Goblins and not the Ogres to some extent.
To be fair, in the first few turns my Bombardier did some good work. He injured like 3 or 4 Noblars.
Yes, your Looney did nothing. But your Bombardier did some work. I mean, I don't think he injured. I think he injured one player.
I think he injured 2 and stunned 1.
It's a shame you don't get SPP from those injuries, but definitely did the work compared to the Looney, at least.
Yeah.
So, no, a very exciting first round. Thank you both for joining us. Hope you both enjoyed the game.
I'm just going to do something.
We certainly did. We certainly did. Hope the rest of the league lives up to this.
If in the trophy room, the 2 top bloodiest teams are Rockets, Amazons, and Adakul's Undead from last season, with 31 casualties apiece.
Okay.
If Jbazza so they averaged about 3 casualties a game. The Ogres made 6 injuries. Now, if you imagine that over 11 games, that's 66 injuries. That more than doubles the high score on the casualties table.
And 2 leveled up Ogres
is nasty.
I'm assuming 2 blocks.
1 rolled a 10.
Oh no!
Was that a double 5?
No, it was only a 6 and a 4, so it's no access to general agility or passing.
Did we not get access to general as standard?
No.
Ogres.
Strength
I
only.
don't know why I convinced myself they did. That changes things. Okay.
I did get a nice thing out of this match. The Goblin that leveled up got an extra agility.
Yeah, I did see that.
That is
really
pretty
good.
Big, because
Throw Teammate is now very viable.
Throw Teammate is based on an unmodified agility roll, which for you is now a 3+, I believe.
Yep.
Something like that.
So that makes last turn throws very, very,
very
useful.
good.
I don't have to play them anymore.
I will look forward to this agility plus Goblin being eaten by a troll in a future game.
Yes.
Make sure he always has a sandwich.
David Atunga? David Atunga? A player for you viewers to keep an eye on. Hopefully we'll see him thrown in a few future games.
Or become a very tasty snack.
Or just die. Get struck by a lightning bolt, hit by a rock.
And Jbazza, have you leveled up your players?
I'm still debating whether to do the smart thing and get break, tackle, or guard, or whether to put him as armor 10.
Ooh.
Or movement allowance 6.
I think movement.
I mean,
6.
they are your main try scorers, so clearly movement is what you need.
I think genuinely, I think movement 6 makes him such a big danger.
I think I would take movement.
Break tackle. Break tackle is just a guaranteed almost dodge.
I mean, break tackles, it could be your second choice. Because you don't really need that much guard as Ogres.
No, you don't really.
Because the people who are doing the punching generally don't need it.
No, I mean, you're 2 strength higher than average. You're not needing guard, really.
I'm more thinking about the Khemri.
Yeah, I mean,
you only go against them once, and everybody else you're beating still.
Yeah, everybody else you'll be fine against. So, yeah, interesting. So
you're only threat
and a normal level up. I assume are your 2 levels.
I've not rolled the other guy yet.
Oh.
Your only 2 threats are Dauntless from the Dwarves and the Tomb Guardians.
Yep.
But Dauntless is a 3.
It's a 3. It's a 3+ for against these guys.
Is it a 3+?
It depends.
2 higher strength.
It depends on the strength of the unit with Dauntless.
You have to roll a die, add it to your strength. If you beat the opponent's strength, then you become equal strength to the opponent.
Okay, yeah. So it would be
It'd be
you need to
3+.
roll a 3+. Yeah.
Because if you're 3, you need to get 6.
And there's only 2 Dauntless pieces in dwarves, so it's not
But
that dire.
there's 2 dwarf teams.
And there's Bretonians as well. Which
Oh
have
yeah,
Dauntless.
Bretonians have Dauntless as well.
Oh, I do have 4 Dauntless. Yeah. It's
Yep.
true. But
I'd
no,
still
not
take
so
the
much
movement.
block.
I'd take the movement. I really would.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter if it boneheads though.
Tis true.
And
Which
neither
is why
does
I'd much
guard. 'Cause
rather
does
use
guard
guard, right?
no longer?
Guard no longer applies on bowhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think break tackle.
If you want to play safe, break tackle. But you've got another guy's leveled up. He can
Yep.
take break tackle.
I will go break tackle with that guy though.
Fair enough. And then level up your
what
other
does-
guy.
What does Odor get?
I'm expecting like a 12.
No, he only got a 7.
Alas.
So this one gets guard.
So no block then. So that was my mistake because that would make the ogres very scary. Double block.
But one Noblar with 5 SPP and another Ogre with 4 SPP.
Interesting stuff. Still, a good start for the ogres. 2 leveled up ogres straight off the bat. Don't think any of us called that.
I was hoping. But now, do I get an apothecary or not? I think I might.
I would. Because the one time you get Dauntless, then are dead.
Yeah, sort of.
And you don't have regen.
You don't know.
Well, regen traditionally has never worked for me.
Exhibit A.
Kemery. Well, that was 100 T value right off the first game.
Oh wow.
Bloody hell. So yes, well, like I say, I hope you two enjoyed the game. I certainly did. I think Aaramus certainly did.
I had fun.
I hope all you viewers at home did. That is it for our first featured game. Keep an eye out on this Twitch and also on our Twitter, which I think you can find in the description below. For the other games that are being played this week, another one might be featured with commentary. If not, it will just be with the coaches, and you get to see. There's lots of other exciting games to keep an eye out for. And then, yeah, we will see you next week for another featured game. Times and dates to be confirmed. So your best bet, if you want to keep track, is our Twitter.
Boop, boop.
Or join us on the Discord, either or. Any last words, Aaramus, before we go?
Can we just point out that I said there hadn't been a single double down or double skulls, which led to a double skulls followed by a reroll double skulls with a double down, and then we accidentally killed.
It's a double death.
We then went into double death. So I would like to formally apologise for my cursing of the dice, and I sincerely hope that doesn't come back to bite me in the ass. I will be taking no more questions at this time.
Hold on, wait. Who made this double down or double skulls?
Rocket did. He doubled down with the troll, didn't he? Which killed him.
So much happened, I genuinely forgot.
I don't remember what happened to the troll. I only remember that it died.
He did a 2-die block, which he re-rolled into, again, a skull both down, which then resulted in him dying twice before regenning.
Oh yeah, no, that was the second to last block Rocket made that game.
So yes, thank you very much everyone who did join us, and we hope to see more of you in the future. Keep an eye out, and till next time, happy Blood Bowling.
Thank you.
Ta-ra.